Hello, everyone, and welcome to this second Moody talk of this month. And this month we are talking about jealousy. And I chose jealousy for February because it's the month of love. So, there are many times where people can get jealous if they think that someone they love is being taken from them or their time, spending more time with other people. And there's those moments of, fear that you may lose them in some way. And it doesn't have to be just about, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse or anything like that. It can also be about best friends. And it can be also about like coworkers or, even coworkers in the sense that they're taking away something that you really want, or you think that they're taking away maybe something that you really like to do at work, and now they're going to do it. So that's where jealousy comes in. And this week, the second Moody talk, I am going to talk about a little bit more about justified versus unjustified when it comes to jealousy. And I think this is really, really a tough one because I think jealousy probably is a more heightened emotion than even anger, because it gets to the root of our heart, and what we really love, and being afraid that that's going to be taken away from us by someone. So, I think especially in the time of, we have a lot of communication through texting and emailing and talking online and social media. And I think that we get to that point that we feel like we have to be constantly vigilant with the people that we love to make sure that they stay ours, I guess. So that's mainly what jealousy is about. And I think there's a line with justified and unjustified with jealousy, because you really, really need to get the facts. And sometimes you don't want those facts. So you need to really be listening and communicating with the other person to make sure that your needs are met and their needs are met, right? So what I chose for this week is to talk about all the way or opposite action. So this is a DBT skill, and it's a great one when you're in communication or if you need to step away from communication with someone. But these are a great way to remind yourself of what you need to do when you feel jealousy and when you're talking with someone about how you're feeling. Okay? So we're going to start with this one's really hard when it comes to, we have so much capabilities in social media to snoop, right? To snoop and spy. So this one says, stop spying or snooping. You don't need to be a detective. How exhausting that really is. Stay away from probing questions like, where were you, right? So you want to have in a relationship a feeling of trust. Obviously, that's what relationships are based on. You trust each other, right? A healthy relationship is about trust. Now, if you're snooping and you're spying on your significant other or friend or coworker, whoever it is, you're not going to get the trust from them because they see that you're doing this kind of stuff. And it's kind of icky and creepy, right? We get involved in it a lot where we want to snoop and see what's happening with anyone in our lives. And it feels even more so when it's a significant other or a bestie or something like that, you feel like you have to do this kind of stuff. So this all the way opposite action is don't do it. Just step away from your computer, step away from your phone, step away from the social media that you check to see what they're up to, right? Number one, don't avoid. So it can feel like you really want to avoid these conversations about jealousy because you don't want to admit that you're jealous, right? You don't want to admit that you're feeling this way because it can feel really, really, scary to feel jealous. And, anger comes along with that when you're not getting the full picture and that the other person isn't getting the full picture of what you need and what you're thinking, right? So don't avoid, listen to the other person. Focus on your body sensations, your surroundings, keeping your eyes and ears open, and take in all of the information given. So don't avoid listening to their reasoning, what they need to say to tell you to, don't worry or worry. There may be those hard communications where, the other person is like, well, yeah, I am kind of pulling away. Maybe it's because of this kind of stuff, or maybe it's another thing. But if you avoid the topic, avoid telling them that you're jealous about something, then the trust, the communication is really spoiled, right? So you want to listen to it all. And if you start to feel as though you're not handling it well, you need to sit back a little and maybe take a look around, get your surroundings, and get your body sensations, knowing what's going on in your body, because you may need to step back. You may start feeling more jealous. You may start feeling anger. You may need to take a moment, step away, and give yourself a little self-care in that time. And then maybe you can go back and talk about it in a less intense way, right? Finally, notice your body chemistry and posture. Somewhat like what I said before, but relax your muscles. Unclench those hands and jaw. Do you need a fidget toy to stay focused? Maybe a quick splash of water before continuing the conversation. So you need to be aware of what's going on with you, because it's the only way that you're going to have a positive interpersonal communication with someone, is that you're understanding what's going on in your body so that you can make decisions on where you want to go next with it. Again, you could, step back from the conversation and say, look, it's really intense right now. I'm getting really, angry. I'm getting even more jealous because I'm not understanding what's going on here. So I think don't avoid, and noticing your chemistry is really a very important part of communicating with another person that you're feeling jealousy for, is to, stay aware and to be able to say, this is too much for me. Let's talk about it later. But communication really is one of those things that we don't want to do, because jealousy, I don't like to admit that I'm jealous. I may get jealous at times, and, I understand the feeling, but that feeling, you just don't want to admit it because it sounds a little creepy, maybe, even though it isn't. It can sound a little creepy to other people. You're jealous? Why are you jealous? It may feel like a little too much for the other person. And I think that the communication is probably the most important part, and accepting that you feel jealous and being able to say that you feel jealous so that the other person can give you the feedback that you need to move forward with the situation. Maybe it'll completely relieve you of that feeling of jealousy with what they say. Maybe they say, oh, you know what? I think maybe you're seeing something that's not there. Maybe, maybe we need to spend a little bit more time together and focus on us, right? I think talking about jealousy really does help with the trust and the communication between two people. So that's the Moody Talk for this week. I hope that it helped. The worksheets are on mymoodymonster.com. And, please, if you have any questions or comments, please put them below, because I would love to focus more on what you may want to hear about jealousy, and the different coping skills that you can use when you're feeling that way. So hit me up, and I can take a look and integrate it into our Moody Talks. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.